Guardian News. Stars and journalists lose appetite for Correspondents' dinner under Trump. The White House Correspondents' Dinner is a fixture of the Washington scene, a spring event at which the cream of political journalism shares bonhomie, fine food, and comedy roasting with the politicians it reports on, including the president. Under Donald Trump, however, the dinner is facing uncertainty. Trump, who has repeatedly attacked the very dishonest press and accused leading news outlets of peddling fake news about him, is expected nonetheless to attend the dinner, at the Washington Hilton on April 29. Many news outlets, however, are planning to give the event a miss. The New York Times has not sent journalists to the dinner since 2008. The Guardian, which normally attends, will not be represented there this year. Jeff Mason, a Reuters journalist and president of the WHCA, has been obliged to confirm that the event will happen. Celebrities are also choosing to spend the night elsewhere. Actors from the casts of TV political drama shows such as House of Cards, Veep, and Scandal, for example, have attended in recent years. They are not expected to be present this time. And according to The Hollywood Reporter, the White House Correspondents Association, WHCA, has yet to secure a comedy headliner. One comedian, Samantha Bee, will be dining on Washington on the night of April 29. The full-frontal host will be debuting what she declines to call a rival party, even though it is titled not the White House Correspondents' Dinner and is being held on the same night at the historic Willard Hotel, a block away from the White House. Over the years, the dinner has spawned a number of receptions and after-parties. Some of those are now being cancelled or losing CO hosts. Vanity Fair, for example, has pulled out of CO hosting a prestigious after-party, leaving Bloomberg to go it alone. The New Yorker has cancelled its curtain raiser. It is reportedly unclear if MSNBC will hold its own traditional after-party, while ABC and Yahoo, which have previously CO hosted a pre-dinner reception, have not confirmed if they will do so this year. Discussions are underway. "We're just getting the ball rolling," a source familiar with ABC's thinking told The Guardian, while declining to elaborate. CBS News and The Atlantic Monthly are still holding a pre-dinner reception. Christopher Isham, CBS Washington bureau chief and vice president of news, said, "The dinner is a celebration of the First Amendment and the role of a strong and independent press and has taken place for the past 89 years under both Democratic and Republican administrations. We see no reason for that to stop now." CNN, a favorite target for Trump, is expected to hold a Sunday brunch after the dinner and keep up a significant presence at the dinner itself. Whoever is eventually named as master of ceremonies for the dinner will have a chance to tease, needle or even roast the president, as Stephen Colbert famously did to a not very amused George W. Bush in 2006. And Trump will get a chance to reply in kind. He may see a chance for revenge. Famously, in 2011 Barack Obama and TV host Seth Meyers roasted a stone-faced Trump, a guest at the dinner who was also a key champion of the widely debunked birther movement, which claimed Obama was not born in the U.S. and thus ineligible to be president. His audience may lack familiar faces. In the past, stars such as Scarlett Johansson, and Kerry Washington and the cast of Game of Thrones have been guests at the sprawling, ticketed dinner in the Hilton Ballroom, which seats 2,670. This year, an unnamed Washington media executive was quoted as saying there will be minimal celebrities in that room, it's going to be difficult to get any talent there. The gulf between the traditionally more liberal-leaning household names of show business and Trump the brash populist was evident at Trump's inauguration in January. An open-air concert at the Lincoln Memorial the day before the inaugural celebrations was attended by Trump and his wife, Melania. It featured no A-list stars. On the day itself, the formation dancing troupe the Rockets were engulfed in controversy about whether members wanted to dance. One of the headliners was the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, though not all of its members were happy to perform. That was followed by an incendiary row between the administration and the media about the fact that the crowds were smaller at Trump's 2017 inauguration than at Obama's in 2008. Relations between the White House and the press have not improved since. Occasionally, presidents don't turn up to the dinner. In modern times that included Richard Nixon in 1972, Jimmy Carter in 1978 and Ronald Reagan in 1981. Reagan had recently been shot. Nonetheless, it is believed that a significant boycott by journalists of the White House Correspondents' Dinner would be a rare event indeed. Ultimately, should attendance prove depleted, there could be one positive for Trump to try to draw. He has repeatedly promised to drain the swamp of Washington. That may be a promise so far unfulfilled, as he has packed his cabinet with plutocrats and insiders, but the Correspondents' Dinner has become a symbol of Washington insider excess. The giant, jostling and glitzy bash has come to be broadcast live, spilling over into a weekend of events at which journalists mingle with the lobbyists, politicians, and corporations they are supposed to keep at arm's length. Concurrently, many in the media have felt a growing discomfort. A more sober White House Correspondents' Dinner is in prospect, and not just because Donald Trump is teetotal.
But we're going to move back now to the history being made in Washington, where America has a new president. Overnight, we saw Donald Trump occupying his new office, the Oval Office. We also saw him and First Lady Melania Trump dancing at the inaugural balls. We have team coverage this morning, and we're going to start with ABC's chief White House correspondent, John Karl. John, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. This morning, the Trumps are waking up right over there in the White House for the first time. And as you can see, the lights were already on early this morning, waking up after an inauguration day that was vintage Trump.
Hours after his swearing in, Donald Trump made his first trip to the Oval Office as president. The presidential office is already partially redecorated with signature Trump flourishes, including gold curtains and a new rug.
Next is an executive order minimizing the economic burden of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act pending repeal.
Sitting behind the famous Resolute desk, he signed an order on Obamacare.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Hours earlier, just before noon, Donald J. Trump took the oath of office, officially becoming the nation's 45th president.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
But in his inaugural address to the nation, President Trump said the day wasn't about him.
January 20th, 2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer.
As former presidents and his former rival looked on, the new president painted at times a dark vision of the country, saying once again that he'll be the one to fix it.
Mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities, rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
Shortly after, President Trump and the new First Lady joined the Obamas before they boarded their helicopter flight out of Washington. At a luncheon in the Capitol, Trump shook hands with Hillary Clinton for the first time since the campaign, and he offered a few words of graciousness.
Because I was very honored, very, very honored, when I heard that President Bill Clinton and Secretary Hillary Clinton was coming today.
It was a day filled with the pomp and pageantry of inaugurations past. Outside the White House, I asked the new leader of the free world about the momentous day.
Mr. President, how are you feeling?
Really great, thank you.
The Trumps plan to attend the national prayer service later today at Washington National Cathedral. And although he's already issued a few executive actions, the first full day of work, the president says, will be on Monday. And right at the top of the list, Paula, is getting his cabinet confirmed. The Senate has only confirmed 2 cabinet secretaries, Defense Secretary Mattis, Homeland Security Secretary Kelly, about 20 more to go.
He's getting right to work. It's going to be very busy. You're going to be busy because we're going to check with you a little bit later in the show, John. You're going to tell us what's next for the former First family. Thanks, John.
باراک اوباما گفتگویش با آقای ترامپ را گفتگویی عالی خواند.
President-elect Donald Trump says he looks forward to dealing with Barack Obama in the future. Trump and his wife Melania met with Barack Obama and his wife Michelle at the White House. Trump called the meeting a great honor.
We talked about some of the organizational issues in setting up a White House. We talked about foreign policy. We talked about domestic policy. And as I said last night, my #1 priority in the coming 2 months is to try to facilitate a transition that ensures our president-elect is successful.
You explained some of the difficulties, some of the high-flying assets, and some of the really great things that have been achieved. So, Mr. President, it was a great honor being with you, and I look forward to being with you many, many more times in the future. Thank you, sir.
Well, Trump also met with US Speaker Paul Ryan. That's currently the country's highest-ranking elected Republican. Ryan says they had a productive meeting and will be working fast to push their policies.
Donald Trump had one of the most impressive victories we've ever seen, and we're going to turn that victory into progress for the American people. And we are now talking about how we're going to hit the ground running to make sure that we can get this country turned around and make America great again.
Well, thank you very much, and Mr. Speaker, it's been an honor. We had a meeting, met with the President, as you know, before. That was an excellent meeting. We just spent quite a bit of time together. I think we're going to do some absolutely spectacular things.